Part 1. The Happiness Trap. You chased happiness like a dog chasing its own tail, running in endless circles. Every goal hit, every box checked, and still that hollow ache stayed right where it always was. You told yourself the next promotion would finally fix it, then the next relationship, then the next purchase. But real satisfaction always moved one more step further away. Scrolling through everyone else's curated highlight reel late at night, you measured your worst days against their very best moments. That comparison was slowly poisoning you. That new car, that new phone, that expensive dinner out, the high lasted maybe a single day. Then the same old emptiness crawled right back in, patient and waiting for you. You finally hit the milestone you swore would change everything about your life. The celebration lasted one single night. By morning, you were already chasing the next high. More money, more followers, more validation from strangers online. None of it was ever enough. The goalposts kept moving because the real problem was never external at all. You were running on empty, chasing a finish line that kept sliding further away every time you got close, mistaking pure exhaustion for progress and burnout for dedication. Every relationship slowly became a transaction. Every friendship turned into a networking opportunity. You were so busy climbing that you forgot who you were climbing for. Then one quiet night, staring up at the ceiling, it finally hit you. You had achieved everything you once set out for. So why did you still feel this completely empty inside? What if the chase itself was always the trap? What if happiness was never something you actually catch, but something you were simply taught to never stop hunting for? Part 2. The cost you paid. Your relationships paid the price first. Missed dinners, forgotten calls, the people who loved you most slowly learning not to expect you to show up for them anymore. Your body sent you warning signs for years, the constant fatigue, the tension headaches, the sleepless nights. You silenced every single one in the name of the hustle. You lived 3 months ahead of yourself at all times, always planning the next win, never once present for the actual life quietly happening right in front of you. Every scroll through social media left you feeling smaller than before. Their vacations, their bodies, their success, you were bleeding joy one careless glance at a time. You hit every target you set for yourself, and instead of celebrating, you immediately moved the finish line again. Enough was a word you never once let yourself say. The breakdown came quietly at first, snapping at people you actually loved, dreading ordinary mornings, running on caffeine and anxiety instead of any real purpose. Every unmet expectation turned into a rage you didn't fully understand, aimed at people who didn't deserve it, born from a silent war happening inside your own head. You made decisions from fear, not strength, afraid to fail, afraid to fall behind, afraid that stopping for even one moment meant losing absolutely everything you had. From the outside, you looked like you had it all completely figured out. From the inside, you were a stranger to yourself, wearing your own success like a heavy mask. Then came a night, everything finally cracked. The mask slipped, the exhaustion won, and you honestly asked yourself what you were even doing all of this for anymore. Part 3. Enter the Stoics. A single quote stopped you cold. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Something ancient just quietly cracked open something modern and completely broken. Marcus Aurelius ruled an entire empire, buried his own children, and still woke before dawn to write himself private notes on how to be a better man that single day. Seneca warned that we don't actually lack time, we simply waste it, chasing wealth we don't need to impress people we don't even like. That line hit you like a fist. Epictetus was born a slave and still became one of history's freest men because he learned that true freedom starts in a place no other person can ever chain down. The whole philosophy came down to one brutal, liberating line. Some things are up to you, and everything else simply isn't. Stop wasting energy fighting the rest. A more fatty, love your fate. Not just accept it, not just quietly tolerate it, but actually love every scar, every loss, every single version of your broken road here. Memento mori, remember that you will die. Not to depress you, but to burn away everything fake and leave behind only what actually matters most in your short life. On one side of the line sat your thoughts, your actions, your effort. On the other sat everyone's opinions, every outcome, everything you could never control at all. The goal was never happiness itself. The goal was virtue, becoming a man worth respecting, regardless of whatever the world happened to hand you on any given day. For the first time in years, you felt something unfamiliar quietly settle into your chest. Not excitement, not triumph, just a quiet, unshakable sense of peace. Part 4. The shift in practice. Every single morning now starts the same way. 10 quiet minutes asking yourself what's actually in your control today and releasing your grip on everything else. You started writing it down every day. What happened, what you controlled, what you didn't. The page slowly became a mirror you could finally stand to look at. You began choosing discomfort on purpose, cold showers, hard conversations, uncomfortable workouts, deliberately training your mind to stop flinching from pain. Someone's opinion of you used to run your entire day. Now you let it pass through you like passing weather, because their weather was never truly your forecast. You stopped reacting the instant something went wrong. Now there's a pause, a slow breath, a real choice, and that pause quietly changed every outcome after it. The obstacle standing in your path stopped being the enemy. You started treating every setback as raw fuel for becoming the exact man you were meant to become. You began imagining loss on purpose, picturing your life without what you already have, so you'd stop taking it for granted and start actually living inside it. You put in the work and released the outcome the moment it left your hands, because gripping results you could never control was slowly crushing you from within. Adversity used to break you completely. Now it forges you, because you finally understood pressure isn't your enemy, it's the only thing that actually builds steel. Discipline stopped feeling like punishment somewhere along the way. It became the one thing that was fully, permanently yours, something no one could ever take. Part 5. The peace that follows. The world outside kept spinning into total chaos, deadlines, arguments, noise on every single screen, but for the first time, something inside you stayed still. You stopped performing for approval you never actually asked to need. Their applause got quieter, and somehow your own quiet voice got louder inside your head. Contentment stopped being something you'd earn someday, far off in the future. You found it sitting quietly in the ordinary Tuesday you almost didn't notice living. You were actually there for dinner, for the conversation, for the walk, fully present in the moment, not half planning your next move 3 steps ahead of yourself. Pressure that used to crack you completely now barely even touched you, because you'd already made peace with every outcome long before it ever arrived at your door. You stopped drowning in 1,000 scattered goals and finally found one clear direction, and that clarity alone felt more like winning than any trophy ever did. The people around you noticed something quietly different. You weren't performing anymore, you were simply present, and honesty rebuilt what the hustle had broken. You didn't need the whole room's approval to know your own worth anymore. That silent confidence never needed a shout, it just simply stopped asking permission. There's a new strength in you now that didn't need an audience, a strength that showed up at 5 a.m. with nobody watching and absolutely no one left to impress. Peace became your compass instead of achievement ever again. And strangely, once you stopped chasing success, more of it quietly started finding its way to you. Part 6. The new path forward. Right now, today, you have the exact same choice that changed everything for the men who came before you. Keep endlessly chasing, or finally start choosing instead. Chasing is exhausting because it genuinely never ends. Choosing is powerful because it starts the very second you decide what actually deserves your limited energy. You don't need a brand new job, a new city, or a new year to start this today. You need 10 honest minutes and the willingness to look at yourself clearly for once. Write down 2 honest lists today, what you control and what you don't. Then stop wasting another single ounce of your energy on that entire second column forever. You cannot control the market, the traffic, or what other people think of you. You can only control your effort, your honesty, and your very next decision made. Stop measuring your life by outcomes you can never fully guarantee. Start measuring it by the effort and integrity you bring to every single ordinary day you live. Every single morning is a fresh blank page, a brand new chance to practice this again. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep showing up for it daily. The calm you're searching for isn't waiting at the finish line somewhere ahead. It's built quietly, brick by brick, every time you choose discipline over noise. So here's your challenge starting today. For the next 7 days, chase absolutely nothing. Just show up, do the work, and let peace find you instead of hunting it. Happiness was never actually the destination you were told it was. It was the bait. Peace was the real prize, and it was always right here, waiting for you to stop.